Hi there, I'm meteorologist Roberts, but I'm going to get into the tropical update in just 1 second, but I do want to give a shout out to our friends out here in the Philippines, specifically in Masbate, there in Visayas, where a 6.1 magnitude earthquake did just take place. So I did see some reports of damage there, so if you were impacted by that and you're watching this update, please share some of your reports. I would like to hear them. But I do want to note this is coming ahead of some increase in rainfall as we go ahead through this weekend. Big broad area of circulation just to the east of Visayas here today, and that eventually is going to organize just a bit and shift further off here towards the west. So let's take a look kind of what's happening here. We do have kind of a little troughing right there. You have that broad circulation back towards the east around the Mariana Islands. Now these two are going to work together in combination with a shear line or that cold surge coming in from the north, creating said shear line, which is going to almost create a training effect across, well, first off, main parts of the Mariana Islands. Over there towards Yap and Palau, also going to be looking at some decent showers, but the leading edge of this shear line setting up in the southeastern Luzon through the morning on Saturday. Yes, also over there towards Masbate. By Saturday evening, kicking off there towards southeastern Luzon around Legazpi, and eventually pushing showers into Sunday from the Metro Manila area, but also into central and northern Luzon on top of that. Definitely going to be seeing an increase in showers out there. So places like the Cagayan Valley, where it's been dry recently, we're going to be looking at an increase in showers through Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. And this graphic right here, kind of similar output. This is both ECMWF, but this shows you kind of where those lines are really coming together. They're coming a lot tighter, and that's where we have that shear line that's going to be setting up out here as that low just kind of forms right off of the coastline. That's a hot mess of a graphic, but I think it does visualize where the shear line is going to be. And this showing that increase in the showers through the upcoming weekend. Some of these areas you could see as much as 50 to 100 millimeters total precipitation in parts of the Sierra Madre Mountains. Big thanks for everybody on Patreon, by the way, who continues to support this channel. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. Everybody else who also donates on PayPal, big shout out to you guys too. If you want to check that out, link is down below. But let's go back to the guidance here. Where we do have this big old low pressure troughing kind of taking place offshore. And then if we zoom in on Saturday over towards Sunday, this is, I think, is going to be the heaviest of the precip. If wherever this kind of low sets up right there, and let's say it sets up here, but where that highest gradient, the highest dynamic influence from that cold surge off towards the north, and where those two meet, that's where you get kind of the strongest, so that's in that northeast monsoon, strongest pressure gradient. So that means we're going to be looking at the gustier conditions in those areas too. So we're talking about Isabela, Aurora, parts of northeastern Cagayan. Could be looking at winds up to maybe tropical storm strength out here. Now, definitely not a tropical storm by any means, but you could be seeing those windy conditions really kick up. And then don't downplay the threat of flooding here too. That's something else I do want to always mention. We're talking about this specific type of situation. All right, let's go back to the comparison with the GFS and the ECMWF on Saturday, because you might be thinking, okay, Robert, you're showing the ECMWF, which is this right here. This is by Saturday night into Sunday morning, kind of giving you an idea of what I'm talking about. And if you just kind of change this over to the GFS, very similar output. So here we go. This is the ECMWF right like that, increasing in the rain showers through the weekend. GFS also shows that and shows this little kind of lingering in the same areas that shear line continues to interact, bringing just continued precipitation across Luzon all the way down towards Mindanao too. You still have the easterlies continuing to dominate there on top of that. And the overall background flow supports this setup here with that cold surge and that kind of broad area of high pressure towards the north and the upper levels, and that interaction showing where we're going to be first starting to see that shear line over the next few days, sticking from the Mariana Islands back towards Visayas. I like this graphic because it does kind of give you, I always show the satellite picture and that shows one thing, but this gives you kind of a general idea of what the wind flow is going on, which is also one of the first things if you're forecasting in meteorology in the tropics, especially away from good observations on the ground, the overall background flow, the overall wind flow in the atmosphere. Very good graphic to always look at, guys. I always do highly suggest you checking that out. So let's go back to the forecast, of course. And you know, that's the other thing. Don't always just look at the models and say, okay, this is what the forecast says. Always make sure you look at all of the data available. And that's one reason why I like making these updates, explaining that stuff to you guys. Taking a look over towards Saturday, heading into Sunday and Monday, Metro Manila, of course, and basically most of Central Luzon. Increased no showers. Like I said, it could get heavy at times, especially further towards the north of Manila, while back towards Visayas and to Cebu, we got those showers also Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with some thunderstorms continuing in the forecast. And one more thing goes without saying, but if you are planning on boating, I guess this broad, tight pressure gradient north of that area of low pressure is going to create some fairly decent waves off of the East Coast. So be safe out there, guys. Anyways, that's a look at what's happening today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please, as always, if you do want to support the channel, check out our Patreon. Link is down below. All right. So, yeah, let's look at what's happening today. As always, stay safe out there.